The stadium lights burned bright, the tension electric. It was the final game of the season, Dodgers versus Rockies, a night that wasn't supposed to matter, until Shohei Ohtani decided it would. Fans came expecting one last glimpse of brilliance. What they got instead was chaos, beautiful, hilarious, heart-pounding chaos. It started innocently enough. Bottom of the fifth. Ohtani stood on first, his stance relaxed, his expression unreadable. Beside him, Austin Barnes adjusted his gloves, eyes locked on second base. To anyone else, it looked routine. But what came next wasn't just baseball, it was pure theater. The pitch came. A fastball, mid-zone. Ohtani took off. Like lightning striking without warning, he exploded from first base. The crowd gasped, the Rockies catcher flinched. Barnes moved too. Two Dodgers, two blurs of motion, charging forward in perfect, reckless harmony. The double steal was on. But what nobody expected, not even the cameras, was what happened in between. Somewhere between Ohtani's thunderous sprint and Barnes' desperate slide, the universe seemed to glitch. The Rockies fumbled, hesitated, panicked. The catcher's throw went wild, past second base, into the void. Ohtani looked back mid-run and laughed. Actually laughed. Barnes hit the dirt, safe. And for a moment, everyone, players, fans, commentators, just lost it. This wasn't strategy. This was instinct meeting chaos. Genius disguised as comedy. You could see it in Ohtani's grin, that rare, unguarded expression that says, yeah, we just broke baseball logic, didn't we? Barnes, brushing the dust off his uniform, pointed at Ohtani like, you crazy, man. And Ohtani, he just gave that shy, boyish shrug that somehow made 50,000 people laugh at once. But underneath the laughter, there was something deeper. This wasn't just a funny blooper or an end-of-season stunt. It was a glimpse into what makes Ohtani different, his ability to make even the simplest play feel like a story. The double steal itself wasn't even necessary. The Dodgers were already in control. Yet Ohtani ran like it was Game 7 of the World Series. That's who he is, the man who turns every inning into art, every sprint into spectacle. And Barnes. He played the perfect partner. The quiet veteran, always in the shadows, suddenly finding himself in a highlight reel he never expected. After the play, as the replay rolled on the Jumbotron, the dugout erupted. Teammates doubled over laughing. Mookie Betts was pounding the railing. Even Dave Roberts cracked a smile, the kind of smile that says, only Ohtani could pull that off. Social media lit up within seconds. Ohtani and Barnes go full anime mode. Baseball just turned into a buddy comedy. This isn't the MLB, it's Ohtani's world, and we're just watching. And honestly, they were right. Because if you slow down that footage, frame by frame, you see something incredible. Ohtani's eyes flicked toward Barnes just before the pitch. A nod. A spark. No words. Just mutual trust. That's the magic. That's the difference between teammates and partners. When Ohtani made that dash, he wasn't just stealing a base. He was stealing a moment, a memory that fans will replay for years. The kind of moment you can't script, can't teach, can't even explain without smiling. And yet, beyond the laughter, there was artistry in every move. The timing, the anticipation, the chaos choreographed by instinct. It was as if the baseball gods decided to end the season not with a home run, but with pure, unfiltered joy. After the inning, Ohtani jogged back to the dugout, still grinning, his helmet slightly askew. Barnes followed, shaking his head, trying not to laugh. Cameras zoomed in, catching that priceless exchange, a shared look that said, did that really just happen? Fans rose to their feet, applauding, chanting, cheering, not for a run scored, but for the sheer fun of it all. That's the thing about Ohtani. He doesn't just play baseball. He redefines it. He brings laughter where there should be tension, awe where there should be routine. By the end of the night, that single play was everywhere, on ESPN, TikTok, Japanese news, fan edits set to dramatic music. Some slowed it down to show Ohtani's smirk mid-sprint. Others looped the catcher's panic for memes. But everyone agreed, this was one of those rare baseball moments that reminded us why we watch. It wasn't about stats or records. It was about life, about freedom, about how even in a game of rules and precision, there's still room for chaos, for laughter, for something truly human. In that instant, Ohtani reminded us that greatness isn't always serious. Sometimes, greatness wears a smile and runs full speed toward second base just for the thrill of it. And Barnes. He'll forever be part of that highlight, the other half of the funniest, smartest, most heartwarming double steal in Dodgers history. As the final out of the season came and the players shook hands, the crowd still buzzed, still laughing, still talking about that play. It was more than a steal, it was a symbol. A reminder that baseball, at its core, is joy. When the cameras panned to Ohtani one last time, he was waving to the fans, that same quiet, humble smile back on his face. The showman who never tries to show off. The genius who finds fun in pressure. And as the lights dimmed and the crowd filed out, one thought lingered in the air, a whisper carried through the laughter. We just witnessed Ohtani being Ohtani. Because no one else could have done it that way. No one else could have turned a double steal into a story the whole world would laugh about, replay, and remember. That's Shohei Ohtani, part hero, part magician, part comedian, and somehow, all heart. And that night, under the Los Angeles lights, baseball wasn't just a game anymore. It was joy. It was laughter. It was Ohtani.